Flash is one of those areas of photography that can seem a little overwhelming. There's lots of concepts and techniques to learn, but if you want to be a good portrait photographer, you'll need to become familiar with most of them. On this video, I'm going to share a sampling of things that you should know about flash photography. Here are 5 things I recommend you learn about. Let's start with something most beginners learn to use first. That's TTL. TTL is short for through the lens metering, and it measures the light coming in through the lens, and it adjusts flash output. And what actually happens when you use TTL flash is this. When you've got your flash connected to your camera, either directly or wirelessly using a TTL-capable flash trigger, and you press the shutter button to take a photo, the flash first fires a test flash. And the camera reads the effect of that test flash as it reflects off the scene, does some quick calculations to determine the correct flash power needed, sends a signal to the flash with that information, and the flash then fires at that determined power setting during the actual exposure. And this whole TTL process takes place in a fraction of a second, so you might barely notice that the flash has fired twice. The camera can also meter ambient light through the lens, so this automatic flash control makes it easy to balance ambient light for certain types of shots. And this makes shooting faster in fluid situations like run-and-gun shooting, events, etc. You know those plastic and rubber attachments you see photographers using to diffuse their flash for more flattering portraits? Well, they are definitely effective in certain indoor situations. What they're not effective for is outdoor shots. In fact, they can be pretty useless outdoors. Why is that? They have limited impact outdoors because those tools work by spreading the flash's light around, so it's going to reflect off different surfaces and back to the subject from different angles. Outdoors, there tends to be a lack of reflective surfaces, so light gets sent off in all directions, but only the light moving directly toward the subject ever reaches the subject. And because the flash is behind an extra piece of plastic, it's now working extra hard to get enough light out there for what you're trying to do. This type of tool is best used indoors. It's more effective in smaller spaces where light can bounce off walls and ceilings. So it can be very helpful to understand a simple rule about how quickly light intensity decreases with distance. Now, this is science, so it's real and it's predictable. The inverse square law says that as you double the distance from the light source, the light's intensity is reduced to a quarter of its original intensity. So if you have your subject properly exposed when they are, say, 5 feet from a flash, if there's a backdrop behind them that is 10 feet from the flash, it's going to receive a quarter of the light the subject is receiving. And if you know how light is measured in photography, that means that the background will be underexposed by 2 stops. Backgrounds go dark real fast. Remember earlier when we were talking about flash diffusers? The whole idea behind those is that you try to spread the light from the flash around so that it bounces off the walls and ceiling of a room so that the subject receives light from different directions at different intensities. This creates a softer, more flattering light pattern versus the harsher look of direct flash. You can also rotate your flash head so that the light strikes a nearby wall or ceiling or both to get indirect flash illumination. This is called bounce lighting, and it's really effective. You can get a light pattern and quality similar to a softbox if you do it right. Bounce flash is one of my favorite techniques for on-camera flash. Because of this emphasis on soft light and the idea that direct flash, especially from a flash located at the camera position, is kind of considered low-quality lighting, most photographers using flash tend to favor the diffusion and bounce techniques that we talked about earlier. But direct flash has its uses too. I sometimes like the in-your-face, or what I call amateur aesthetic look of straight-ahead hard flash. It's often used to create the look and feel of something a little more spontaneous and raw, maybe edgy. So don't write it off. There are definitely creative uses for simple, direct on-camera flash. Of course, there are more subtle uses for it too. You can use on-camera flash to create just the right amount of fill light for outdoor portraits, and you can use it to create catch lights to add life to the subject's eyes. I've got a free bonus bundle for you. Check out the link below for this package, which includes checklists, model releases, lighting journal sheets, and my 10-minute guide to off-camera flash. Sign up with your best email address to get your instant download. All right, that's about all I've got for you today. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment. I'll see you next time.